Few days ago, there was a news circulating right across different social media saying the Donald Trump-led government has decided to ban certain countries from entering the United States of America, and Africa is highly affected. 12 countries were banned and 7 countries were partially banned, and Sierra Leone is among the 7 countries that were partially banned. Among the countries that we are banned, I think we have Eritrea, we have Chad and Guinea-Bissau. These are some of the countries that are affected in Africa, and Sierra Leone is among the 7 countries that we are partially banned. So the AYV decided to host the US ambassador on their Good Morning show, and they asked him questions pertaining to the ban. He has this to say.
Come back to the situation. What's the way out? I mean, the statistics are there. You've said that people are overstaying in the US.
Right.
What can you do to solve this?
I think some of this is personal responsibility. People need to use their visas appropriately. We've talked about this before. Individual decisions have implications for the broader citizenry of Sierra Leone. So people need to take responsibility and be civic-minded and use their visas for the reasons that they were issued, and then return when their stay is done in the United States. So that's part of it. In terms of what can the government do, which I think is what a lot of people here are asking, I would say we're going to have an active dialogue with them. But what it fundamentally comes down to are questions around the security of civil registry documents, the availability of criminal records, the availability of court records, so that we can adequately vet those who are going to be traveling to the United States. So I think strengthening civil registry document issuance, making sure that there is searchable databases that are available that we can use to verify those civil registry documents, making sure that there are searchable databases of criminal records that include all criminal records from Sierra Leone, making sure that court records that talk about criminal convictions are available, arrest records are available. Those are the sorts of things that President Trump is primarily concerned with and believes that foreign governments can do in order to resolve this matter. Obviously, no one expects the government to be able to force its citizens to return to Sierra Leone. That's beyond its capability. But what we are talking about really is around the security and availability of civil registry documents, criminal registry documents, court records.
Are government officials also caught up in this crossfire? Are they affected?
So if they are traveling for official or diplomatic business in the United States, no, because they use a different category of visa. So those who qualify to travel on government business to the United States for either business with the United States or business with international organizations like the UN, the IMF, and the World Bank, they will still be able to get their visas and travel and conduct that business in the United States.
The UNGA summit is approaching. Will this particular new situation, if I should say, or mirror of things unfolding, affect people who will be going to the United States to participate in the UN program?
No, if they are government employees, they are still eligible to receive what we call a G visa, which is the type of visa that allows them to travel for the UN General Assembly, or for any other UN business, or for IMF business, or for World Bank business.
Let's say they're not government people, they are journalists, media people.
So journalists do not travel on B1, B2 visas. If you are going to report as a journalist, you travel on what's called an I visa. And I visas are still available, and we can issue those. So if you are a journalist traveling for business purposes to the United States to cover the UN General Assembly or to do any other sort of reporting in the United States, you are still eligible to receive an I visa.
The ambassador has made it loud and clear, and he has stated it already, that the government don't have anything to do or have anything to do like bringing those people that have already overstayed. There is no way for the government to bring them back. So it is not something that we should blame the government. This is something that we should blame ourselves. No, this is not something we should blame the government. But the United States and the Sierra Leone government are working and they are discussing to see how best they can resolve this issue, because this is not a big issue that much. This is just a temporal issue. They might come to a resolution, they might resolve it. So this is not something to blame the government. It is because some Sierra Leoneans that have left this country, they have decided to overstay. They've overstayed. Some of them live here with visiting visa or tourist visa whatsoever, and then they decided to overstay.
So, Ambassador, I understand that as of today, you will stop issuing some categories of visas. What are these categories?
So at this time, we are no longer going to be issuing tourist visas. We are no longer going to be issuing business visas. We are no longer going to be issuing student visas, and we're no longer going to be issuing what we call exchange visitor visas, which is another type of student visa. We're also restricting the issuance of immigrant visas. So for immigrant visas, it will be primarily restricted to those who have family members in the United States who are either citizens or legal permanent residents, and then a few other very specific categories that are not used very often.
When you said family, who do you refer to?
So it's immediate relatives. So it's what we call IR 1 to 5. So spouses of U.S. citizens, children of U.S. citizens and permanent residents, sons and daughters of them, parents. I think siblings are included in there. But if you have applied for an immigrant visa, if you are in category IR 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and you will know that if you have applied which one you fall into, then you are still eligible to receive a visa to travel to the United States.
The news was flying on social media that the U.S. Embassy had sent correspondence to the airport stopping people with particular kinds of visas.
No, that is categorically untrue.
Okay.
First, the embassy would never do that. That's not our role. Any communication to transportation carriers, airlines, would come from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Service directly to those carriers. So no, we have not said anything like that. And as I said, the guidance is that those who have visas are able to travel to a U.S. port of entry in order to apply to enter the United States, same as they always were.